Hello and welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land to the newest session of the Tal'Dorei campaign. Now, before we jump right into the action, we have a few short announcements we have to make. As per usual, here is our Patreon. If you want to join our fantastic community, we do have a lot of little tiny perks that are going to be happening for anybody who wants to jump on that fun stuff. The first perk is you will have early access to a comic series coming out based off of a custom world that I have built and a group of adventurers that I have constructed. I just saw the rough drafts today. They're looking pretty good, but we should have the final draft by the end of next week, in which case I will be posting it in early June. Also, community members get to vote on which character we are going to have for each chapter, which reminds me, players in this game, Chapter 3 is now up for votes. If you want to choose who is going to be the that we follow the perspective of for Chapter 3, I recommend that you jump on that. Get your votes in. It'll only be open until the 15th of next month. I know it's a long time, but might as well get your votes in early. Additionally, if you want to support us by other means, we do have media going on right now. We have Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You can find all of that in the description below, or if you're watching the live stream, hit !media. Lastly, I kind of like the sub-goal thing because, you know, it's fun letting the community find different ways to make an ass out of me, so I want to encourage that activity. So, we're going to open up a new system. Every 50 subs that we get, we will play a game of marbles. And depending on how many subs you gifted or you gave towards that 50, is how many marbles you get to throw into the running. For any of you that don't know what marbles is, it's a fun little racing game where all the marbles are dropped in at once, and each of them has their own little one sentence attached to it. Everyone will be able to choose their marbles based off of the gifted subs that they give. 6 have already been chosen. And if your marble wins, we are going to be doing that, either as a community or myself. So, if you want to put in some ridiculous suggestions for me to do some really outlandish things, keep in mind it has to be TOS, and I can just refuse to do it if that is going to be a recommendation, if it's too outlandish. I am not going to be doing a bikini car wash on stream. It's not happening. So, I think this will be a fun little thing where you get to throw in all of your recommendations, and we get to do some really fun things. But aside from that, I think that's going to be it right now. Krissa, give us a recap of what happened.
Well, last time on the adventures of the Associates, I think that's what we one time called ourselves, we were on our boat and having a lot of downtime, just kind of chatting with one another, reading, puking, swimming, inventing, and eventually we came upon our destination, or at least near it, where it was getting kind of hard to navigate. But thanks to Doizen, we were able to make it where we needed to. Although something strange happened when we came across a boisterous individual sitting on a small island with a Pegasus. Cautiously inviting that person onto the boat, he seemed to know quite a bit about us that we instantly thought, hey, maybe this guy's gonna kill us. But it proved that he was there to help, and so we let him help us, making sure we didn't turn our backs to him yet, because you never know. And eventually we managed to avoid a boat filled with militant-like people who would probably be trouble for us in the end. We did then eventually came to a monolith, as well as a shrine that had no great discerning features to it, but as we began to interact with it and try to figure out its puzzle, with the Ioun stone that Prissa was given from Ilarin, as well as the book that Ace produced, we managed to open a gateway into an archive, and we met the knowing mistress herself, who greeted us and promised to give us the information we so desired, although it would only be one thing that we asked, and she'd point us in the right direction. Prissa, being rather down to business and knowing what she wanted, chose to go find the information on the ritual. Jimmy asked a rather controversial question to her, but then went to go help Prissa. And Dorzan and Yurik decided to play chess with the knowing mistress, wondering if they could beat her in such a game of wits and intelligence. Canaroth went to go find his history about his raps as well as his order and find out more about that. And Ace, I honestly can't remember what Ace did, but after we learned much of, or at least Canaroth learned much of his order's history, that's where we left off.
This. So, Ace, you were told the story of your parents, something that you didn't really know about, but kind of fits. Dorzan, you asked about going to happen, and for better or for worse, you now know. Canaroth asked about the history of Darmok so you can better understand the rap.
A lot. Yep.
Since Sir Yurik is not here, we're going to be skipping over his part for the time being. Jimmy and Prissa, you've both been researching for probably a couple of hours at this point. Moving around, looking at everything, gathering the books that are necessary, even taking a small cart and keeping it moving behind you as you gather all of the different aspects of this ritual.
If I recall, I rolled like a 27, but with Jimmy, he flashed his inspiration on me, and it was a 31.
It was insanely high. So, the two of you sit down at a table. As Prissa, you start reading through the actual ritual itself. You found all of the books pertaining to it. Now comes the Arcana check to see if you can translate it easily into components.
You said translate, so is it like a different language then?
No, it's written as a celestial and holy ritual, and you are an arcane individual who has that level of understanding. So you are translating it from divine into arcane, so that you can better understand what is going on and helping everybody.
Oh, so comprehend languages wouldn't assist.
Would not assist you at all. The only assistance you may have is if Jimmy chooses to help.
The only thing Jimmy is doing at this point.
So roll with advantage because Jimmy's helping?
Yep. Flash is +5, right? So that leaves you at 23. A lot of this ritual seems symbolic in nature, and you know that has a very, very important aspect. Divine magic. So you can't lean that far away from it. However, the mechanical aspect of it is... To best explain it in this game, two ships sailing across the ocean. Waves are crashing and sending the ships in slightly different directions, but they are staying relatively close. What you need to figure out how to do is to merge the one ship while flowing perfectly on the ocean into the second ship in a way that it does not destroy either of the ships and sink them both to the bottom of the ocean. Meaning you have to rip off the hulls and connect them into proper while on the water. Same exact thing with Destiny. You're pulling a specific thread that's being manipulated by some unknown force that you can't comprehend. However, with this ritual, it shows you the key components that'll be necessary to that. What you need, please write this down.
Just I got my notes are being weird.
Is an aspect from both individual that they've had since they were a child. You need solidified blood from both of them as well. Does not have to be fresh. You need to bathe the one who is going to be taking over the other in the tears of a celestial. And you need to use the remaining liquid from those tears and imbue it into their weapon. And that individual has to draw the last attack against the fate that they are taking.
So basically, they have to make the finishing move.
Yep.
Quick question about the blood. Does the blood need to be like similar to the languish spell or anything? Need to be like in my possession, in like a special vial,
it needs
or it
to
just
be
has to be
in
there?
the possession of the one conducting the.
Okay. And when another thing about the bathing in tears, it's literal tears, or it's a symbolic of the tears, because I know how the Raven Queen likes to have baths of blood with her
It
followers.
is literal tears of a celestial.
And does it say specifically like full on bathe like a small child, or like just, it has to be on him?
This is about all you got with a toy.
All right. I guess keen mind. Can Prissa think of anything she read previously in the Raven Queen archive about something this person had?
That
who?
was much longer than a month ago.
Okay, that's fair. Either way though, can I remember anything that may pertain to his? I don't know if he had a childhood sort of per se, but
Roll a history. Nothing that immediately comes to mind. However, if you're looking for information, you are in the right place. But you're still kind of learning the ritual, so you would not be able to seek other information right.
Is there anything else about this ritual that I need to figure out?
That's it. But this is happening over the entire course of the entire thing. But yeah. Your entire time here is going to be spent learning this ritual. It's not as simple as I open up a book. Oh, look at that. I know how to do it. This is high level magic, higher than you've ever performed. So this is taking you the entire evening.
And my rolls were just not great for this.
Pretty decent.
They're decent, but my modifier would have made it spectacular if I had rolled better.
That's D&D.
Am I spending all my time assisting Prissa? This is what we're doing until the morning, correct?
This is what Prissa is doing until the... Now, if you wish to do something else, you can. And as I stated before, Prissa, without telling you directly what to do, you can ask somebody else to go find the information that you are questioning right now. But you are learning and memorizing this ritual.
So yeah, as Prissa's kind of writing this down and stuff, she's taking some notes on this in her book. She's going to, since Jimmy's there to help, she's going to at some point tell him, Jimmy, I found some things I'm not quite sure about. It's about Tears of Celestial, and bathing in it, and then just the other components that I need to check my notes again on. Here, can you ask her about these, or someone who might know? I give him the notes about asking about the celestial tears and bathing in it, and about the childhood aspect for you know who.
You can say his
and-
name while you're in here.
Oh right, forgot about that. Yeah, for Volvik, and let's see, I think that was and if the blood had to be a certain way, like in possession or just there. And then she turns. Then once she hands him the note, she goes back to continuing writing her all she can about this ritual. I guess follow-up question that we did kind of discuss it a little bit before we started was since I'm learning how it works and stuff, I would know the end result too about the fact that once this happens, like ultimately the queen will have to pull one of the threads.
No.
No,
The
not
two
that one?
threads will intertwine and become one. That is the purpose of the ritual. Take the two fates and intertwine them into one, much as the same way as you merge two ships on the ocean into one. And yes, it is meant to sound impossible.
Silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess for probably like a visual aid when she's taking these notes, she's like minor illusioning, like using your example with like just two ships that are slowly merging, and she's got it realistic, so they probably crash and like sink, and then she's like shaking her head as she tries to figure this out.
Jimmy, you were handed the notes. What would you like to do?
Theoretical Arcana, and given the components of what I'm being told is needed, I'm going to find equivalents for them that would be more readily accessible for us.
To gain access to that side of the library, you have to go ask her.
Sorry.
Walk back up to Ayun.
She's still playing chess with doors.
You said that we would be able to utilize any of the knowledge here. Just wondering if I could go find some more information regarding celestials and hematology.
May I inquire what aspects of hematology, Celestial?
It's basically celestial biological components, and hematology were, I believe, looking at type of transfusion, or he kind of rambles off his basic understanding of biological nature.
Ayun is smart enough to keep up with you. Listen, do you mind if we put the game on hold? I'm going to show him down the proper places.
No problem.
Would you like to join us?
Sure. Dorton gets up from his beanbag chair.
She stands up, and by the time she is standing, you watch a new hallway opens up, but then she looks at it, and halfway down the hallway splits off, and a different row of bookshelves appear, and that does that about 5 or 6 times, all the way down.
Thinking about it too, there would be a third thing, because it was talking about doing the tier into the weapon, so imbuement of celestial divine property into the mundane. So we're talking vestige creation at this point.
What?
So developing celestial means arcane means.
Yes.
Very well. She begins floating down this hallway, and as she does, you just see this purple energy just kind of swirl around her as books just start lifting off of the shelves, swinging in front of her, and as they do, the entire book just flashes in front of her and then keeps rotating to another place. Eventually, you make it down to the end of this hallway where there is a table, and there's about 23 books that she places. So, here is all of the information pertaining to what you asked. Dozen, do you mind helping him? I assume he does not wish to have my assistance.
Sure.
No, there's one last book too. The history of this individual, all that is known about him and where he came from originally.
She waves her hand, and a very thin, small book appears as she places it down on the table.
A piece of paper apparates.
Oh no, there's like a good 19 pages here.
Size of a pamphlet.
Yeah. Tell you what? If you need anything else, just ask.
Thank you.
She nods and begins floating away.
Oh boy.
This
So what
is
is this
gonna
one?
take a while. I appreciate the help, Dorzen. If you could just move them over to that table, I think I'll be able to handle the rest.
All right. Start grabbing books.
And Dorzen, you are very smart with that headband, so...
I am, but I will try to assist because I
Yeah,
can't remember
yeah,
anything
yeah.
in this place.
That's fair. So, Jimmy, you have advantage on your investigation roll? Or
Also,
investigation followed by an arcana check.
guidance.
As he's moving the books too, I'm relaying to Dorzen kind of what me and Prissa have discovered. So we're looking for this and that and the other thing.
Where the frick are we going to get his blood?
I'm not sure if it needs to be his blood per se. Maybe I'm hoping to find something in that book, and he points to the history one. If he has been in a battle, or maybe even potentially has progeny, there might be another way of coming about it.
I mean,
Anyway, let's get to work. What did you say, Jero, in terms of
Investigation followed up by an arcana. These are not happening at the same time. The investigation is to filter through the information to find what it is you are looking for, and the arcana is for the translation of the divine magic into your knowledge of it.
Sure. Flash is running
and you have guidance.
not too great. Guidance investigation. Here we go. 25. We'll pump it up to a 30.
Bump it.
All right. So, on a 30. The blood is literal. It has to be the blood from both of the creatures. However, as it is stated, it does not have to be fresh blood. It could have been dried over, found someplace. Now, although it's been a little while since that previous fight, Jimmy, you weren't a part of it. Dorzin, you would have remembered, I believe it was you in the room, where he looked surprised that he bled. Fortunately, it's been too long and you guys no longer have that blood that you caused. However,
Has to be at the room.
However, as you are investigating through the history of him, he was a part of many, many battles. He was a devoted servant to a new goddess and her chosen soldier, one who is meant to protect. And as such, he spilt his blood all over the battlefield, and in particular, into an old relic that he used to have. This is a vestige, but it is one that Vox Machina has never relinquished or allowed anybody to don since the loss of their companion.
Ah,
Please tell me it's not what I think it is.
it is totally what you think it is.
As far as you can tell, this is probably your best chance of finding any remains of his. Because it would be soaked with his.
Okay. The type of vestige or a proper name?
The proper name of it is
You're not gonna like that.
No, it's not the Raven's.
I was also going to inquire, Jero, if there was a force entity that he fought against directly in this war who might, by extension, have blood on. I'm basically seeing if there is a weapon of the betrayer god that would have his blood on it. That was going to be my next question.
Or maybe we could release one of his ancient enemies and have them both fight each other.
Oh, boy.
So the name of the vestige is the Deathwalker's Ward.
Yep. That was Max's.
As far as an enemy that may still have his blood, where they would have been buried,
Sealed away somewhere.
This
Yeah.
this is Jimmy's mind going off. Like, what was it? What would his blood be on? Okay, probably a weapon if he was struck by somebody. Okay, what's a very powerful weapon he would have fought against?
I mean, there was that one time he got hit up on the upside of the head with a mace.
yeah, if only.
If only we could summon that one devil that demon that struck him, but nope,
Here's the
that's
thing.
gone.
Jero, do we know was Jorvik, did he actually fight in the Calamity, or
Yes.
was he? Okay.
He was a combatant to his god. Now, he was meant to fight off other smaller beings. He did not battle gods. He is not that powerful. But he was an individual who could compensate for the larger portion of an army by himself. However, there is one other item that you could justifiably believe would still have his blood stained on it because of a battle that he had with this. Now, there was an individual that he had to fight against, the follower of one of the betrayer gods, one of their chosen champions, who also had an item of power and divergence. This would be Agony Flail, one with dried flaked bloods all over it. Now, where the location of Agony is, Jimmy, you know.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
I kept thinking it was a mace.
One. that
It's a-
he knew about.
It's treated like a mace. It's a So Agony or Deathwalker's Ward be the only places you could find his blood.
Break into the Underdark Palace. Ask Vox Machina for the last remaining vestige of their family.
Oh, come on.
Which is the better, worst option.
Obviously.
Oh yeah, no, give Dorzin like the armor and then have him dual wield like, you know, that one as well as the hammer.
Yeah.
To be honest, that armor isn't as good as what I'm wearing for what I'm going to be doing with it.
Yeah. However, continuing on, roll me an Arcana check.
You still have guidance.
I used my guidance, so I
It
haven't.
lasts a
Well,
minute.
this is a separate check. You only get one roll, but it's a separate check.
Yeah.
I'm assuming while you're helping, you're just guidance, over and over.
All right, here we.
Those cantrips, they're fun.
roll
4.
4, and this is my last flash of genius. 31.
Now the party's vulnerable.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I know DM was waiting for that.
The Tears of a Celestial is more of a symbolic gem. Something that the power a celestial being has, the closer they are to the gods themselves in those domains, increases with just simple things that they do. Say, the feather of a fallen angel could be powerful enough to bring somebody back to life as the components instead of a set of diamonds that you would be familiar with. The blood of a turned angel could be something that would corrupt somebody but imbue them with immense powers, boiling them and potentially even killing them. The power comes from the actual essence. As for the translation of bathe in the tears, that mostly means they have to be poured upon the individual. And the power of that comes from something that happened to a celestial being that made them cry, that hurt them, not physically, but mentally. Something that went against what they always thought as a calling of them. A deep, sorrowful regret. It does not have to be a god, it has to be any celestial.
Um,
So we're gonna find an Asimar and beat the shit out of him. Got it.
no, we cut onions in front of him, but
I
no,
need
Jero, so quick thing too
right
about the
here.
bathing in tears. Does that bathing have to be during the ritual, or does it just have to
Yes.
have? Okay, fuck.
Means you gotta bottle some tears. Or bring a celestial who can freshly cry. Or find a location where the tears would be symbolic.
I'm gonna show Ayun like this just really poorly written book with, you know, grammar errors, spelling errors, just a whole bunch of
book that
bullshit
she wrote.
written by some like guy who doesn't know anything, and it's just lies and bullshit.
Not in her library.
Yeah, but if she did have to read it, would that make her cry?
You would destroy it and reconstruct it properly. Gods are not that sensitive.
That's
mean,
what didn't
unless
do it.
you-
From a god, From a celestial, maybe. From a god, forget it.
I mean, gods cry.
I
Unless you-
mean, if there was one who would be willing to cry, Ayun's been through a lot of shit the past few centuries.
Yeah, she's
Let
by
it
far
out.
the strongest mentally.
Hey,
Wait,
damn
Ayun,
it.
you've been holding this all in, and we're a bunch of shoulders that you can just let it all out on right now. Here, just aim for this bucket right now, okay?
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work.
I mean, what would probably work though is probably a really, really badly worded fan fiction about Ioun.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Prissa's got that somewhere. Maybe not Ayun specifically,
But
but
back
you
to
know.
the story, everybody.
We're trying to figure out how to make a god cry.
Yeah. So you just need to capture it. However, it could be a symbolic tier. Say somebody who sorrowfully lost their life, celestial that did that in an area, their tears might be considered soaked into the ground. So you might be able to find a well that would be considered filled with celestial.
So you're saying we have to climb the Earth Titan?
There's a lot of different options for that one. That one is open to translation, and that is up to you all to get creative.
Is it all right if I'm if I'm writing the stuff they learn down? Because I'm fairly sure they'll.
You
tell
can write
me.
it down because everyone plans on talking about it, so you can write it
Jimmy's
down.
sharing
Yeah.
everything.
Everybody take notes.
No.
Easiest way to say it, everybody take notes.
So here's a question: what is an aspect of Dorzen's childhood? Does the mask count?
Something that you've had with you since your childhood.
I don't think I have anything like that in my inventory.
Your left hand.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy does have your uncle.
Think material possessions.
That guy does have your uncle.
I mean,
But anyways. And as for items that they would have had since their childhood. Childhood is a terminology used in religious texts to symbolize when you were young in your ages. Now, in a fantasy world, an elf was a child until they were 90 years old. For a celestial being, they were a child until probably a couple of. So you need to find something that belonged to Vorvik back before he fell. And for Dorzen, you just need to find something that he had when he was a child that was dear to him.
The relic, the Deathwalker's ward, he had that before he turned, correct?
That is correct. But the item you use will be destroyed in the process.
Okay.
Don't worry. Jimmy can make another one eventually.
Those are the three components that you easily discern and translate into your own.
Didn't he also have the amulet that Trinket was in?
Yeah. No, that wasn't him. That was a different one.
Oh,
Dude,
He
dang
didn't have
it.
that one. Yeah.
No, because I remember they were found in the same place.
Yeah, no, that was
yes,
that,
but different champions. This
That
champion is
belonged
older
to
than
the-
that one.
yeah, that belonged to the great famous Pervon. I think it's like Pervon Peterbear, I think that was his name.
I don't know.
know.
But anyways, we're continuing with the story. So, I believe that's everything you asked. Am I forgetting something?
Yeah, the imbuement of the said tiers into a magical item. So, like, creating of a divinely made item.
It is not the creation that is important for this ritual. The tears that were placed onto the head of the one taking over the other destiny has to be then wiped upon their weapon. Then that weapon should be able to harm the Celestial. Or more appropriately, because you had a fairly high arcana, a very, very high arcana, it makes the Celestial being vulnerable. So he has to take the tears, wipe them onto himself, or have them poured on him, and then coat it around whatever weapon he plans on using to make it vulnerable.
So it's not so much he needs to deliver the final blow, it's that it enables the purpose of delivering a final blow once he has been struck by it.
Both. He needs to strike it to make it vulnerable, and he has to finish the final attack.
By the way, one thing too, I should have asked. The bathing part. It's bathing. If we're gonna do this, it's bathing Dorzen, not bathing him in the tears.
Correct.
Right?
It's,
Okay.
unless you want Vorvik to take Dorzen's death. That can.
Honestly,
Nah.
more interesting.
I kind of like Dorzen over this guy.
I think that's everything. Jimmy has every piece of knowledge he needs. So any remaining time he is dedicating towards finding his own information about vestiges, but he brings these notes back to Prissa before doing so.
Something too, just quick thing. You said that the aspect from the childhood it would be destroyed, but the thing with blood on it, would that be destroyed too, or just that?
No, it's just the blood. The blood is the only thing needed for that aspect. The childhood thing, the thing from when they were younger, is going to be destroyed.
Would he have an old holy symbol somewhere?
Maybe. However, that is going to be the finale of your time here, learning all of this.
And who knows? Maybe when we were in the thing, Dorzen was given something that used to be his, but then all of a sudden got taken back. Wink, wink. That's my thoughts on it, anyways.
You all meet back up as you were notified by Ioun that time is expiring. You're all standing around. Magam's arms are crossed. Sir Uric is looking contemplative. And you all have just a few minutes to share your notes with each other about anything you might have learned.
Krissa comes with a big old stack of notes. I think I found what I needed. Jimmy, did you get what I asked for? The specifications?
Pretty sure we got a good footing to get this ritual completed. We're gonna need to get a couple. Hopefully, we have enough time.
Well,
What do you need?
What I understood was correct. We're going to need to get some actual tears from a celestial being, and we might need to procure one more vestige.
Which one?
That kind of depends. I'm hoping we can get this one called the Deathwalker's Ward. I heard about it, but it's Vox Machina, I believe, has it, and they weren't too privy on letting me access any of those.
I'll ask when we get a moment to ask them.
They won't let you.
I wasn't gonna exactly ask for their permission if they denied it.
At the very least, we need blood from it. That would help with one.
Either that or we go into to another one.
What other one did you think about?
Well, it's more of a theory, really. I'm not too sure, but he did wind up fighting against a number of people back during the calamity, and I believe one of the weapons that struck him, amongst many others, would be the Vestige Agony. That
You know where that is?
one that we have heard about.
Magam, if we were going after that one, would you be able to assist us? After all, that was a little unfinished business there, maybe?
Unfortunately, I don't think so. I need to get back to the thicket to maintain my protection around it. I was here, I accomplished what I needed, and I've just about finished the duplicate of your...
That's good.
So you're not familiar with any Celestials, any friends of the church, are you?
Not really. No. I mean, no. Tal'Dorei's cool, but we're not really on talking basis.
Oh, Magam, just so it's easier to identify blood, do you happen to know any spells I might learn to find blood easier or identify something or where blood is?
Locate creature.
Oh, that's convenient.
If you have the blood of a celestial being and it's the only property of them, You can finagle it a little bit with my hemomancy to discern if it belongs.
Oh, but it's a hemomancy sort of specific ability.
I'm afraid so. But if you have it, I can identify it for you. No problem.
Right, thank you.
Of course.
Could I think of any place where there might be a more celestial tears in the symbolic manner?
Roll a history check.
Can Krissa also try to think of something like that? Like maybe not
Sure.
so much, maybe not so much Volvic specifically, but like a famous battlefield
Roll it.
or a famous event.
God, I rolled an 8.
Or
Allow
if we
me
were gonna
to
be,
flash my. Oh wait, no.
or if we were gonna get into specifics here,
You're
like maybe
allowed
we're-
to roll already.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
hoping to maybe lower the DC.
Yeah. Not gonna happen, but
Ooh, nat 20 on the other side.
I wish I had help.
can't really help somebody remember unless they were there when you learned. Honorath? The place a Celestial would have cried is a place where a Celestial would have lost its power. And you know, across the oceans, there are many, many different places that could still pertain to that area. Mainly in Xhorhas, where there was a specific deity pinned to the side of a mountain range before it had its power stripped from it. The snow that falls in that region could be considered tears.
I do know of a place of tears. It's over in Xhorhas, though.
What
Uh,
is your house?
On
Can I
Wild
do it?
Mount.
We'll just say you know it.
That's so far away though.
Yes. However, if knowing there is aspects of the Cobalt Soul there, that might be a quick way to get there. Even then, it's going to be some time to get there, though.
I don't know if we have enough time. Last I checked, we only had about 2 weeks before we left, and it took us 4 or 5 days to get here. So we only have maybe 7 or 8 days left.
It is unfortunate, yes. But that is the most readily accessible place of tears I can think of.
Tears might come from many places, but we know one thing that we do need, and there's only one of them. We gotta either find this ward or Agni. I think that's
Um,
the next thing that we get.
Hey, Jared, quick,
Maybe a holy symbol of his.
Yes, Prissa?
I just wanted to ask, what defines a celestial?
A creature type.
No, I mean, I know it's a creature type, but I mean in terms of lore-wise kind of stuff, what makes something a celestial?
A god.
God makes the
Like, quite literally, gods make celestials. That's what it is. So, in order to construct a celestial, you need to ask the favor of a god to do so, or the god constructs it.
I mean, with that sort of logic, couldn't a celestial technically be any sort of follower of
No.
said god?
They are not a
if it was,
celestial, they are immortal.
Yeah.
A major difference between mortality and celestial are mortals can decide what they do with their lives. Celestials are put onto a path the moment they are constructed.
Okay, so they're constructs, kind of, rather than.
Not exactly.
Think like an angel.
They were born to serve a purpose. They accept the purpose. They love the purpose in most situations. And they seek to make that purpose come to fruition. They're not constructs. They still have emotions. Still have choices they make, but they serve a purpose.
What about, for just rolling with here, what about something like the sap of a sun tree?
Sap is not tears.
She's specifying because it was made by a god.
Sure. The sun tree might be a celestial. You can certainly try.
All right, we're gonna go like insult this tree until it starts to just weep.
I mean, all it's gotta do is remember that time those vampires showed up.
Oh god, that would have, yeah, that was pretty sad.
Ace, you don't happen to know any celestials, do you?
I know plenty of stories as far as actual celestial. You mean like I've met or that I've known?
Have you heard a story about a celestial crying or like tears that were created?
What would you like me to roll, Jero?
History.
Oh,
You're also from Wildmount, correct?
correct.
You would have the same information as Conoroth based off of your knowledge of the world.
Yeah, basically the same story that he just said, but much better. Same thing. The only other celestial I can think of would be Storm.
Sounds like
Storm and I are beautiful Storm.
We don't.
I don't want to make Storm cry. I mean, I will if I have to, but I don't want to.
When you say make Storm cry, you say that kind of in a mean way.
Does his freaking Pegasus count as a celestial?
Yeah,
It's yes.
yeah. A Pegasus is a celestial.
Does that
However,
count for what we need?
However, if you make a Pegasus celestial cry, lose your bond with the creature.
Yeah, of
'Cause
course. I mean,
you
the
would
only-
have to
the only-
betray it so devastatingly that it would never ever allow you to summon.
Yeah,
Which means your entire spell becomes useless.
Yeah,
ooh.
yeah. When you say make him cry, I hope that seems a little malicious. I mean, the only
It is
the only
sort of
way
malicious.
to, and I don't even know if it's possible, but tears of joy are what I enjoy.
Would Tears of Joy work?
Technically, it's doesn't specify it has to be sad tears.
It specifies tears as a specific thing.
It is meant to be tears of anguish, pain, that sort of.
Darn
Oh,
it.
so just it's got everything has to be depressing. All right.
Yeah, a
Well,
little bit.
you wouldn't have to know of any teleportation circles in Wildmount, would you, Ace?
No, I don't. I prefer to see most of the world as I travel. In fact, I don't even know if I've really used a circle before, besides kind of what we just did. And I'm gonna pull out. Ace pulls out his book and he starts writing as he gets an idea for a song.
So while they're doing the looking for angel tears, can I roll a history of my own past and know if I have if something on me from that qualifies for this?
Sure.
The thing that my aspect. I'm 50% sure this holy symbol was his. It's very simple, but I'm not gonna ask right now. I should have asked for session inspiration. Damn it.
Yeah, unfortunately, not a whole lot of luck in that regard.
Fuck, I forgot to. I should have used that on the history check. God damn it.
Yeah.
Does this sword hilt count as a thing that I've had forever? Because it was technically part of my starting inventory.
Did you have it since you were a child?
I don't know what I had since I was a child. I've had the belaying pin since I've been on a ship.
Since you were a child.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, like it's your
Okay,
backstory,
we found
man.
mine.
Yeah, you have your
mean-
pins.
I mean, technically, you also have your body, but I don't think you want to lose that.
I was literally about to say, Dorzen, will cut off your damn tail. You've had it since you were. Like,
No,
That's
no, no,
fair.
Jimmy, Joe, you don't cut off a horse's tail. You just turn him into a gelding.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry, I'm joking about that one, but
Rissa, that's brutal.
I didn't say that in character.
are we just going to teleport back then, or
We're gonna have to.
Well,
Can't
can I
spend it
ask-
in the ocean?
Can I ask Lady Ioun if there is any chance she could,
Just Ioun, but continue.
if there is any chance that when we leave, it could pop us close to that mountain range in Wildmount?
No,
Any possible?
the entrance here is not near there. If I had it so easily transportable, others could find it.
That is true.
All right, I'm just gonna ask. Ioun, I know this might be a lot to ask, but can you cry for us?
If I had any more tears to shed, I would. Gods can only weep so many times before.
Ayun, ma'am, Prissa pulls out her map of Tal'Dorei. Is there specific spots here that you could point us to where we might be able to find tears? If it's as symbolic as it seems, it would just maybe be where hard battles were.
Wouldn't Tears just be where New Celestial is? I mean, the potential, obviously not there, but
It would have to
If
be a
it's-
place that a celestial would have wept. Or had a devastating loss against themselves.
Where did
tragic.
Volvik fall?
Vorvik fell in the ruins of Unoa.
I do history check, or do I already know that that's the place in the Ivyheart Thicket?
No, you have never heard of this before in your life.
But it's on the map that she has. Can she just point?
Yeah, she'll point at it, but you have no idea what this is.
Where is she pointing?
If you look at the map, there.
South of Amon. Very south.
Oh, I see that.
Would some of his blood be there as well?
Any luck, maybe. Though there's so much blood spilt there over the time, I'm not sure if you would be able to find it through everything.
Well, we have options. This Unoa, the mountain range, and Wildmount. And for the
Wildmount is not an option. We do not have time to walk from wherever that is to a mountain.
would I know of the closest cobalt soul to that mountain?
No. I mean, there are cobalt souls out there, but there's no cobalt souls here. You're on the wrong continent for any of those resources to be relevant.
Wait. Are you sure we can't ask the Bright Queen for help, or maybe the Dwendalian Emperor?
The fact that he is from a secret organization.
I know. I'm just being facetious. I'm sorry.
So Ace is gonna kind of yawn and stretch and go sit in a corner and pull out his tin whistle and play a quiet lullaby as it's getting late.
Now, there is one place I can think of during my battles, time got shadow.
I know about there. That was where Vox Machina fought Umbrasil.
Well, during the Age of Arcanum, it was a powerful location for. And it is also the place where the Chained Oblivion was first struck. However, many creatures died out there. On both sides. It is an evil location filled with filth and malicious intent. The land itself hates. But may have a good chance of finding tears there.
Just to cover all our bases, you wouldn't happen to know where an aspect of Jorvik's childhood would be, would you? Outside of the vestige?
That would have been in the book.
Did we not find anything besides the vestige in the book?
He would have had a holy symbol. The book doesn't seem to have that information.
Damn it.
It's a very short book.
Oh, they hit him so well.
We'll cut off his tail. Don't worry, Dorzen.
Freaking.
He doesn't know.
Oh,
the
we're gonna
tale.
piss Vox Machina off so much.
Well, you could maybe ask the Raven Queen where his symbol is.
Actually, that's a good question. I'm gonna hold up this holy symbol the Raven Queen gave me to Ayun. That wasn't this, right? This is something else.
How should I know?
I don't know.
I'm not omnipotent. I've said this at least 4 times. I am not omnipotent.
Yes, but it wasn't referenced in the book. It said it might be a holy symbol. Never mind. I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you said. Ooh, Jimmy, identify my holy symbol.
I think you need more powerful magic than identify.
Legend lore.
Yorick, legend lore this whole... I have the incense.
Do it.
Like 5,000 gold or something?
Because he has it prepared. He has it prepared.
I have
he does.
1,000 gold worth of incense specifically for...
Why don't we do that when I actually have time to do it, and when you're not going to crush a platform that I'm standing on while doing it, and while we're not being escorted out of this place while doing
One of you people needs to remember, because we won't.
I will.
Ayun kind of smiles. You all are so silly.
We are going to die.
Maybe.
Not if I can help it.
Let's hope not.
And it'll make a great story.
Well, Sir Yurik, Poison, I apologize. Everyone else, time to leave. The door stays open for any longer.
Thank
My
you
enemies
so
may
much.
come. If you ever need more information, come.
Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Ayun.
Thank you.
He nods.
And quick thing too is and also they won't remember, or at least most of that. Sorry. Dorzen and Sir Yurik won't remember anything that happens in here. That happened in here,
Correct.
right?
Goodbye.
Yeah, so
Goodbye. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I look forward again. And Ace is gonna start humming a tune about Ayun as he leaves.
quick question too: is it like when we leave, it's like the archway and stuff that we had?
I'll narrate it. Something like I usually go over the big exits for moments like this, so I will cover that. Thank you.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
No.
And as we're leaving, Ace just kind of has a little tear.
As you're all leaving, Jimmy, you feel her hand on your shoulder. If you ever need me answer that question, come back. Let's go. You all get over towards the gates. As soon as you stand on the platform, they close behind you, and you watch as a staircase opens up, leading right up to that archway that hasn't moved at all. You all walk up the stairs, Sir Yurik being forced to carry the rowboat that Jimmy swam down in. And once you get over to the archway and move forward, moving through, the archway seems to reestablish, and the stones in the location build back up the same monolith you all saw before. Immediately after stepping onto the water and getting in the boat, Sir Yurik and Dorzen both look over at the area, hoping something would happen, and you're getting very annoyed that it's been so many hours and nothing's happened.
Well, that didn't work.
But it did, and it was beautiful.
What?
We got all of the information for the ritual.
Where was I?
You were there. It's one of the
You helped me
ways
move
she
the
defends
books,
herself.
Do you not remember?
No. I've just been standing here.
Does anybody else not remember?
Oh, I remember it. It happened. He was
It
there.
happened.
I think it's maybe exclusive to certain individuals about the knowledge that's here. She said it was for her safety as well as your own.
That's
But we-
preposterous.
It's the truth.
But what was the point? Like, why? So what happened? What happened? How was it?
We learned what we needed.
Yeah, and as we're, I guess, going on the boat ride back, Prissa will start kind of going over that whole stuff we already went through.
And especially going over aspects of Kettle will joke around with doors like, we need to find something belonging to your childhood. So, tail, arm, something.
I mean, I've had these things forever.
Then that would do it. Most likely.
However, we only have speaking some change. So we be on our way, get back to the boat.
Yes, we need to either head to Onoa or Gat Shadow.
Well, I can get you closer to Gatsha. That's easy enough.
The hard task will be finding something that belonged to him as a child.
Did you guys explain to Dorzen's own idea?
Oh, you had the idea to legend lore your holy symbol, see if it belonged to him. Your new one.
Oh. Okay.
And Yurik agreed to do it once we left.
Dorzen just looks to Yurik.
Sure. But can we get on a boat first? Because I can't really do it on this little.
Right.
No.
It might be nice if we also helped Harry get out of this this maze, just so we can leave while he's on the open sea rather than lost here.
Yes, since if this holy symbol you have, Dorsen, is not his from his childhood, there is only one other item that we know of.
What's that?
It Deathwalker's ward. The vestige that is in Vox Machina's protection.
Oh. Well, then that's easy then.
The one that belonged to Vaxel Dawn. And the item will be destroyed in the ritual. Not as easy as we thought.
Question out of game. As a person, I'm curious. Would that allow the Raven Queen to make a new vestige, or would that vestige be lost or would the power be lost forever?
You don't know.
No. Well, that was my own curiosity, but never mind.
Yes, and my answer is you don't know.
Damn.
So, one of your ideas, Dorsen, or our ideas, was for you to ask the Raven Queen if she knew of any other items that belonged to him from his childhood.
I mean, I can ask while we're walking. I'm still really new to this, but she seems to be very nice when I ask her politely.
Out of character, what if you asked Vaxodon if it was okay to use his vestige?
Ooh. Ooh. Without him showing up and saying it, they're not gonna do that.
I mean, no, that'd be a dick move and something Prissa probably wouldn't be allowed to do now. She's a member of Iron's
No
followers.
lie.
Yeah. No making an illusion of Vaxeldon being like, hey, give them my old
Well, that'd be
vestige,
just
please.
being a dick.
Yeah, that would be that's something that Prissa wouldn't probably do.
Also,
on
bad
them.
call, Keyleth. Just Keyleth. That's
Keyleth would wreck your shit.
no. You can handle the rest of Vox Machina together, not Keyleth.
I mean, Scalen's a level 20 bard. I'm pretty sure he can both be.
I mean, this party could handle Scanlan by himself easily. Keyleth, no. You all would get your shit wrecked.
Yeah.
Druid.
Yeah.
Shape change.
Hmm.
All right. While we're navigating this maze back to the boat, Dorsen's just gonna silently ask about, so still very new to this. Is this holy symbol you gave me more important than I think it is, or was I? Is it what I think it is, or is it just the symbol? Dorsen's still really new to praying.
Honestly,
alright.
if she doesn't answer, you could always just pray to Vaxel Dawn, see if you show up and say hey, you can use it.
I mean, I wonder how Dorsen and Vaxel Dawn would get along.
Roll me a D100, Dor.
Yay. 19.
Don't get a response. You don't really have the ability to just call her attention to you, unfortunately.
Right.
Perk of being a cleric fighter compared to a fighter cleric.
Well,
So.
guess you're a Castle Legend Lord.
You all get back onto the boat. You help Harry navigate out of this. It's going to be dusk, and how long does Legend Lore take?
I think 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was thinking it might be an hour because it's one of those bigger sort of
10 minutes.
rituals.
When we get back to the ship, Ace is going to say, oh, I need my beauty sleep, and he's going to go find a place to sleep.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
All right. And you said you have the components?
Yeah, he's got the ivory. I have the incense.
Yeah, we bought 1,000 gold worth of.
So subtract
Physical
250 gold for incense.
I also have ivory on my sheet. I don't know if that's an error, but I thought.
No, you both have it just in case.
Okay, cool.
All right, down to 3 more casts of the spell.
So, you're having him legend lore the necklace.
Yes,
Hey.
that's the most obvious.
It is a symbol of Raven Queen, constructed in a temple in Iman by a master, one who could craft it beautifully and ornately, by the name of Bo Danter. It was first wielded by one of the warriors, soldier acolyte, Raven Queen, by the name of Dorzen.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. It shouldn't just work that. We don't count as legendary yet, do we?
Well, this is the legend of the item.
And we
But
did technically
I thought
seal
it
up a
was
primordial's
young-
butthole.
That's what you get out of the legend lore. It is your holy symbol.
Thank you.
The only
Okay.
other thing, you have to have the item for legend lore, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
I believe so. Wait, no. I believe so, but I'm not positive. Let me fucking roll it in chat.
It also works on place, I think.
Name or describe a person, place, or object. The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, and even secret lore never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't a legendary importance, gain no information. Yeah, I did that because it was fun. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. The information you learn is accurate, but might be coached in figurative language. Okay. So yeah, you don't need it on your physical person, but certainly helps.
If that's the case, can you do it again? Except thinking about Dorzen's previous symbol, the one that he had on his ear.
Well, why not just
That was one specially crafted for me.
Yeah, why not just think of his holy symbol?
So I can only do this one more time today. If I do that, I'm out of all of my best things.
I still have all my best things.
Right. Worth less.
That's. I didn't mean it that way. So
It's fine. It's fine. I will do it. Oh, by the way, instead of doing that, how about we do it tomorrow?
But you'll get your spell back tomorrow.
Yes, but I also take us all back there to Iman immediately.
Oh, that
Krista.
would be good. I mean, yes, but.
You can do it in 10 minutes. I can do it now.
Confused.
We need to alert of our arrival, though.
I
not
do
with-
not. He has word of recall.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
He
yeah,
set
that
his
is-
save point in Iman.
I forgot about that.
He found the bonfire of Sarenrae there, and he
In the Temple of Sarai, so he's just going to appear there and like, what's up?
What's up, bitches? Just
yeah, and then the priest can be like, "What's up, bro? How you doing, man?" Just
Does
yeah,
that
Temple of
take your-
Sarenrae is a bunch of frat houses.
no. So, I mean, I can do that unless you want to teleport us all around everywhere.
Wait, didn't Mitch say he could teleport us to closer to Gat Shadow?
Oh
Yeah.
yes, I could. He get you inside of Westrim.
That's not near. No, I'm sorry. Ruins of Old Nile or whatever. Oh,
Oh
Freaking
no.
mountains blocking the eye.
Yeah.
It's south of Iman.
Onal is south of Amon, or we have
Gat Shadow is right behind Westwind. Westwind is literally like 2 miles away from Gat Shadow.
Right. The question is, are we going to be able to get out of Westrun?
Well, we
why
don't
not?
have to go into Western. We have to go around it.
It is on
But-
lockdown.
Yeah, if you haven't been there recently,
Oh, I'm fully
Mitch,
aware. I don't see why none of you would be capable of leaving.
I believe
I
they're
should.
also
We should.
blocking teleportation in there. There's an archmage protecting the city right now.
Really? Curious.
Archmage. What was his name?
Notes.
That's it. That's where the heck is his name? Archmage Baneless.
Well, I can get you. Have to let you know that it may be a little finicky.
And I'm just wondering too, if do we want to do this before we get either Agony or the Ward? Because if we have that blood, Mitch here can help us locate the blood that would be where we are.
I mean, if we go to Odnora, we might get 2 for 1.
Maybe.
Yes.
Same with Gat Shadow.
It should. My sound settings. Well, I think we can do whatever you want. You know what? Let's just take a break and then figure
We'll
out what you
decide
guys
after
want to
the
do.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your voice. Yep.
We'll be
Go
right
ahead.
back.